Hello there, and welcome to What's Your Story. We have a young lady with a very interesting story today. Our guest is from Brisbane, I know how to say that, Brisbane, Australia, and she is a hypnotherapist and a transformational consultant working with RTT, that's Rapid Transformational Therapy, and she also works with QHHT, that is Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, somatic and tantric embodiment, breathwork, and sound healing. And Marissa truly embodies these modalities in her daily life and has used these herself to heal from trauma, to make major life changes, to create lasting transformation, and align with her soul's purpose. This work Marissa is doing is truly the work she is here to do, and it is her soul's mission and life purpose. Marissa now uses these modalities with her clients to help them break free from past limitations to live their best life. So welcome, Marissa Warren. So nice to have you here with us today, all the way from Australia.
Thank you. So lovely to be here with you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Tell us about this work you do. So many of us don't know what RTT is or what the quantum healing is. We want to know more.
Absolutely. Well, the thing that I love with the rapid transformational therapy is when you have people in hypnosis, we're actually going through and doing different therapy modalities. So we've got the elements of the cognitive behavioral therapy, neuro-linguistic programming, and psychotherapy. So we really get right to that root cause and identify what's going on. We can then go through and release that and then go in and do the recoding and rewiring the program of the mind, because your mind controls your thoughts and your thoughts control your body. So when you can be giving yourself a better command and a better internal dialogue and creating those changes in your inner world, it changes your outer world. And you are the creator of your life, and everything you need is already within you. So I simply help my clients to be able to tap into those deeper parts of themselves and access that information and infinite possibilities and potential within themselves. And the thing that I love with the quantum healing hypnosis technique is working with the past lives. So what I found was there was so much we could do in terms of creating life changes now. But when you can access, again, those deeper parts of yourself and to move through those deeper layers internally, it just helps to bring about more insights and more information. And the more information you have about yourself, the more empowered you are to be able to live a life that is in true alignment and sovereignty with yourself.
So should a patient or a client choose one or the other, or should they do both, or what?
Look, I think it really is depending on the person and the individual. I myself have had many sessions in both modalities and techniques, and I use them for different things. So I use the past lives as a way of being able to get more insight and information about what may be going on in this life if I've already done a lot of things in this life to be able to work and clear through things. But I still feel like there's just that little bit of a block. There's still something underneath the surface that I can't quite tap into. And I need to be able to lift that lid and to be able to dive that little bit deeper. And then the rapid transformational therapy is amazing if you really want to be able to get in and get to the root cause and to be able to get in and start to recode and rewire your life. And I feel like the past lives is great to be able to gain that deeper insight and information. And the rapid transformational therapy is, and because I incorporate quite a lot of different modalities with the somatic and tantric embodiment, it's giving you real life skills that you can take away to make changes, not just for now, but to be able to access these tools and these resources for everyday life, so that you're empowered and life just becomes easy, like make change easy. So you're able then to be able to navigate through life's challenges. And instead of feeling like you've got these massive highs and lows, you can just return to equilibrium a lot faster and a lot easier.
It sounds like it'd be good for me. What are some of the biggest transformations your clients have had?
Gosh, there's so many. And I love working with my clients. And I love even more when they're like, you know what, I don't need to work with you anymore. I'm feeling amazing and I'm empowered and I feel like I can take control of my life. And then I love when I hear from my clients, like 6, 8 months later, even a year later, and they come back and they're still seeing amazing results in the issue that we worked on. But then they're also seeing these domino effects into many other areas of their life. So I always tell my clients, what you come to see me for is quite often not what you'll leave with. And it's like, how do you tell a magician to magic up their, put their magic in a bottle? It's like, how can you put the unique essence and blends of what people receive, and personalize it for everybody? But I've had amazing results with clients with fertility. I've worked with results with insomnia, addictions. I've had quite a few addictions. Life purpose is as well is quite a big one that a lot of people come to see me for. People that are just feeling like, maybe they've had something happen in their life and it's shaped their whole way of thinking and believing about their life, and maybe they're feeling a bit directionless. And I know very many people quite often will ask that question, like, what are we here for? Like, what is the purpose of this life? So I really help people to be able to tap into those deeper parts of themselves and to be able to align with what is truly aligned for them and their life purpose and what they're here for and what lights their soul on fire.
So, what advice can you give to someone who wants to make a change, but they just feel overwhelmed? They feel like it's just impossible.
Yes, I think my biggest advice is make change easy. So, how can you already do what you're doing, but slightly different with a different intent? So, there's something about like the magic in the mundane. And, it's like, how can you bring a different level of intention, actions, and awareness into what you're doing in everyday life? For example, as much as we would love to be able to all sit in meditation for hours daily, we can't quite often do that. And even the monks that live out and meditate for days, they still need to wash their clothes and wash their dishes and eat food, right? So there's still that mundaneness of life and the humanness experience. So it's like, how can you do what you're doing differently? So if you're stuck in peak hour traffic every day, could you perhaps start listening to a podcast that is a little bit more motivational or inspiring or educational? So you're taking that opportunity for personal growth and learning while you're stuck in peak hour traffic. Or if you're doing the dishes, how can you start to bring that mindfulness and being into the present moment in that moment? So it could be when you're doing the dishes, starting to tune into those felt sensations, which again is a great way to get out of the head and into the body. So could you start to feel the temperature of the water? Is it too hot, too cold? Can you feel the bubbles of the soap powder start to crack on your skin? Can you smell the sense of the dishwashing liquid? How can you start to tune in and bring more attention and awareness and mindfulness into those present day moments that you're doing? And big change comes from daily, incremental, habitual layer stacking. So I think quite often people are looking for this big magic quick fix and like they just want to be able to transform into a new life instantly. And it just simply doesn't happen. It is making those tiny little shifts and changes daily that add up to big actions. So if you want a new life, change comes from change. So how can you change what you're already doing to have a different energy and a different intention around it?
So they have to actually think about that change and then make a choice. Is that right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, it's the implementation and the integration that is so important. And after you go and do any work or any sessions or see anybody, it's what are you actually doing differently in your daily life to get a different response? And, I work with quite a lot of people that are, their nervous system is completely burnt out, they're numbed out, they don't have much left in the tank. They've gone through many situations of that heightened fight or flight, that stress response, and they're just simply, there's nothing left in the body. So when you think about then having to make changes, when you've already got a never-ending to-do list, you've got a very stressful job, you've got family, you've got the challenges of everyday life, it can feel like, oh, it's just one more thing to do. Like, I just don't have the energy, I don't have the capacity, I don't have the space to be able to do one more thing. And it's like, you don't have to do one more thing. It's just, how can you just change what you're already doing to be slightly different to how you're doing it?
So what comes first, the mindset or the action?
It's kind of like the chicken and the egg, isn't it? I think um, I feel like they're both equally as important and required at the same time. So by taking actions, you will start to see shifts and changes. It's like, one big thing I tell my clients is it's like when you start doing the work that I do, at the moment, it's like you're kind of running down one path. You've worn that path out so much that it's like you've run the grass down and there's a track in the path. But that one path is always leading off, and you're hitting leading off to the left, and you're hitting a dead end. So when we start doing this work and we start recoding and rewiring the subconscious, all of a sudden you'll start to have one path that will lead off in two directions. So the choice is yours. Do you take the path that keeps going down to the left to hit the dead end? Or do you take now the path down to the right that is going to take you to get a different result? So it could be as simple as you decide to set the intention in the morning you're going to get up half an hour early to go for a walk or go to the gym before work. Your alarm goes off and you're like, oh, I'm so tired. I really don't want to get up. You have an option in that moment and you have a choice. Do you choose to hit snooze, take that path down to the left and hit the dead end and get the same result and snooze and don't get up and do anything? Or do you choose to tell yourself, well, my alarm's already gone off. I'm already awake. I know I'll feel better once I get up and actually move my body. So I'm going to force myself to get up and I know I'm going to feel better for the rest of the day. That choice is yours, but it comes with choosing to take a different action from a different thought process.
Well, let me ask you this. How did you choose to go into this profession?
For me, I feel like it's been an all roads lead to the right direction. So I've had many experiences in my life, and sometimes it's not until you're at a different place in your life when you can look back objectively and see how all of the dots have connected. And for me, I think the warning signs had been there for so long. Like I'd had so many life experiences, and I'd hit burnout a few years ago when I was first self-employed, and um, I just was completely numbed out. And I had started doing some somatic work then to start to reconnect back into my body. And I thought, I was doing all of the right things. Like on paper, I was like doing everything you needed to be doing for a healthy lifestyle and a healthy mind. But just that energy and intention was completely different. And then 3 years ago, my father passed away. And that for me was like, nothing makes you face the mortality of life more than death, right? And I just was like, what am I doing with my life? I just woke up and I was like, I can't live the next 40 years of my life the same way that my last 40 years have been. Like, what is the point of life? Like, what is the purpose of life? Like, you just go through life and then you die. And we're not meant to just live how like we've been living. Well, for me, I was like, I'm not meant to have lived how I've lived. And I've had a great life and I've had great experiences as well. But I just was like, my soul was calling out for more. I was like, I'm destined for more. I'm determined for more in my life. And what is my legacy? And how do I want to be remembered when I leave this place and leave this experience? And when I look back on my life and I'm telling the people around me on my deathbed about my life, what stories am I going to tell them? Because at the moment, all I've got is, well, I've worked a lot. And I just was like, I don't want that to be my legacy. Like, I've worked a lot for other people in another job and, and I've had great success and great opportunities, but I just was like, there's more, I've got more to give. So for me, it took as with most people, it takes a big life defining moment to be that catalyst for change. And then I just went on a journey of, I guess, self-discovery and self-exploration myself and, tapping into those deeper parts of myself. So a lot of the work that I do with my clients has come through my own, I guess, experiences in life and, being able to use modalities that I know have worked myself, but also work with, many other clients to be able to get those results and to be able to work holistically on the mind and the body and to bring everything back into equilibrium and harmony together. So yeah, I feel like it's been a lifetime in the making, but it took that one big moment for me to be like, okay, now is the time for change.
Right, right, right. So what does the year hold for you? What's coming up? What are you going to be doing?
Well, this year is such a big year for me. So I'm super excited. I feel like this first quarter of the year is a very big quarter of the year. So I'm going to definitely take some time off at different points throughout the year. But I'm launching my first solo book, which is due to launch in August. I've got 3 co-authored books that are coming out this year. I'm going to be filmed as part of 2 docuseries, and I'm also launching my own TV show as well in the middle of the year. And then lots of travel with work as well. So keynote speaking and speaking at some international summits. So I'm really excited to bring the work that I do to a larger scale and to be able to make my work more accessible for as many people as possible.
Wow, that's wonderful. Now you're going to be speaking at the Women Thrive Summit. That'll be held March 18th to 23rd. What are you speaking about there?
So I'm speaking about reconnect back to you. So I really wanted to be able to help people to make change easy and to be able to give them some practical skills and techniques that they can take away to be able to make easy changes within their life to bring about big transformations.
That sounds interesting. I think I better be sure to listen to that one. I need to bring some big changes to my life.
Amazing.
I think we all do, don't we? At some time or another, need to have some big changes.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, you've been wonderful. You've been a wonderful guest. Tell my audience how they can contact you if they would like to.
Thank you. So you can reach me through my email, which is on the screen. So hello@marissawarren.com. You can also find me through my website, which is marissawarren.com. And you can also book a free discovery call through there as well if you'd like to have a chat and see how I can best support you if you would like to be able to get some help from the work that I offer. And then also across all of the normal socials, so Instagram and Facebook and TikTok as well.
Yeah, it seems like those of us who do this kind of work, we're just all over the internet, aren't we? We're pretty easy to find, actually. Yeah. So it's Marissa Warren, and your website is?
marissawarren.com.
Well, that should be easy for them to find you, huh?
Yes.
Right. Thank you for being such a great guest. You were absolutely wonderful, very, very interesting, and I know that my audience, as well as myself, really, really enjoyed having you here with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It was great to be here today.
You were wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks, Judy.
And thank you for joining us on What's Your Story? And if you have a story that you'd like to share with my audience, please contact me, Judy, at judymorio.com, or you can get me right here at WWDBTV.